What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie all day. If the camera starts to shift, it's because there's a cat laying at the base rubbing against it. But here's what's going on today. I just went to the gun store and bought a brand new Bird's Head 22, right? The 4 3/4 barrel. It's the convertible, so it comes with dual cylinders. It's a nice piece. I really like it. I already have and carry a lot. As a matter of fact, this is what I was carrying today. This Bird's Head, which is the same thing with a shorter barrel. So you can see this is like 3 inches. This is 4 3/4 inches. It's empty. Absolute cowboy style. It's what I like to shoot. It's why I have this tattoo right here. 0.28 was my fastest draw time. 0.28 of a second. Draw and fire. I freaking love single actions. As a matter of fact, one of the other pieces I carry, and you guys have seen it, is my 1860 loaded, conversion into a 45 long Colt. Freaking love this. But when I bought it, I went in and the guy asked me what I was looking for. And I told him, I said, I'm looking for 22 Magnum or even just a convertible. So he said, what are you looking for? Single action, double action. And today while there are two that I want that are double single, Smith & Wesson 648, I think it's called, or the Taurus Tracker, something else that comes in 22 Magnum, both fantastic guns. The Tracker comes in two different barrel styles, barrel lengths, a 4-inch and then a 6.5 inch. And I would take either, really. But I have just a love for 22 Magnum, first of all, as a round, and revolvers, especially single action revolvers. I just have always had a connection to that whole cowboy way type thing, and it's just part of who I am. I love these things. So after I left, or while I was in the gun store buying, the guy was like, what do you want the 22 for? And I started to explain it to him, and I thought a lot of people have that same sentiment. A lot of people feel the same way. They say, why carry a 22 when you can carry, it's empty, a 1911. Oh, yes, I did make this one myself. That is a Donnie B all day, everything. No top sights. You only go by that. I don't know if you even saw that, but you go by the laser. So this one you could shoot from the hip or the shoulder or anything you want. You could shoot around a corner. The laser guides you. You could do something like that. You could shoot a thing. Here's another one of my custom builds. This is a 9 cat. This is a 9mm that is like a Glock clone. Oh, I had to build this. She's all over the place. I built that from ground up. That was an 80%er. All right, cat. Hey, hold on. Damn cat of mine. So, yeah, this was another custom build. I love this thing. You jack the slide by pulling on the ring. And again, even though this one does have sights and very good sights, I still use the torch and laser. So they say, well, why don't you just carry a 9mm or something like that? Or I carry a lot my snub nose 38 special, which I freaking love, and I have my 357 that I'm going to sell. I'm going to get rid of this one. I know I shouldn't, because this was made for me at the factory by Smith & Wesson. This is a performance centerpiece. It is awesome, but it's a 357 Magnum. 357 Magnum's great because it shoots 357 Magnum and 38 special rounds. And so with all these choices, and people are saying, how come you don't carry a 9mm or 45? That's what they asked me. And I've got, I'm telling you, I've got plenty of choices down here that I could be carrying, especially my favorite, which, hold on, I'll show you my favorite. So I carried this one yesterday, I think. This is a Smith & Wesson Performance Center 1911 with the round butt. This thing is balls to the wall, awesome. Absolutely love this gun, but I don't always need to carry a 45. I just don't. So I thought, why not do a video showing you my favorite round, my favorite caliber, and why I carry it. Hold on. I had to take a time out because I just made, oh, I make some killer hot wings. I make killer hot wings from scratch. I mean, I don't make the chicken. The chicken kind of made itself. Thanks God. But man, that's good. So a lot of people don't know. I mean, well, a lot of people know my passion. I love to design and even make custom knives. But I'm also a gun guy. I just am. I'm a gun guy. I love making my own custom handguns. I make just usually 1911s are my favorite to build. I would love to build my own single action style one day. I might just do it. But I mean, this is something I do. These are all like just custom builds. These are all empty. You can see it's open. Custom builds that I do that are just freaking amazing. I love making my own firearms. I even got this right here that I built. And I do them ground up, and I just really enjoy it. So with when it comes to calibers and carry, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with guns, man. I know what I like, and I like what I know. So I'm going to talk about just the calibers that I carry personally, because I had like a Glock 40, not a big fan. 32s, 25s, 380s, don't care for them. So you're not going to see those rounds. I'm going to show you what I like and why, and I'm going to tell you why I carry what I carry. So one of the guns I do carry, like that 1860, is this guy right here. This is a 45 long Colt. Now, when you're looking at a 45 ACP, it looks a lot like this. When you put them next to each other, you can really see the size difference. The ACP is a great round. This is phenomenal for home defense stopping power. You can shoot them in carbines, and they work great. Absolutely love it. But with any gun, 9mm and up, even a 380 is going to have you're going to have a little muzzle lift, right? In some of these guns, especially with 9mm, you can keep pretty true, but you're going to get muzzle lift no matter what. I don't care. I'm 6'3", 238 pounds, and I am strong. I am a powerful dude. Muzzle lift happens. It just happens. So you get a lot, oh, boy, I could shoot a 44 Magnum and keep it. No. You're going to get a little muzzle lift. And what muzzle lift does, especially if you're shooting with a red dot, is you're going to watch your little dot go like this. So when it comes down to your second shot, right, repositioning your center mass, your aim, you shoot, boom, and it does this. Now you have to refine it. It takes this much time, even this much time, boom. That much time could be life or death coming from up to down. So I don't always carry the 45 ACP, just because, like the 357, it's your reacquisition to center mass takes a second. A second can mean everything. Believe me, you go to combat, you'll see a second in time can make a huge difference. So with the 45 long Colt, you might be thinking, well, that's bigger, so why would you carry that over the ACP? First of all, it's in a gun that has a longer barrel, it's longer, it's heavier, so you do get less recoil, which is that. But you use this as a cowboy load, so it's got less grain, a little bit less power than you'd think it'd have. Still enough to take down a deer, a bear, or whatever coming at you. Bigfoot at the ATM. But it's going to come out with less velocity than some of the other rounds. When I say some of the other rounds, we're going to talk about this guy right here. This is a 357 Magnum. Amazing stopping power. These right here are badass rounds. They will tear you up. But like the 45, there's enough recoil, even on that big 6.27 I have. That recoil is ridiculous. If I was to shoot this round out of a snub nose like this thing would go boom, boom, and then I'd have to, so right now I have a bead, boom. Now it's not just, you don't come back to center mass automatically. You have to refine center mass. So now you're talking 2-3 seconds just to get an honest, accurate shot. Not worth it. So I don't always carry this. However, and this is a big one, if I was going to carry a lever action or a pump action rifle, right? Like a Henry Big Boy, something like that. I would want to carry it in 357 Magnum, stopping power. You can use it for hunting 100 yards. You're good with this thing, and it will just work all day, every day. Just awesome. One of the great things about a 357 Magnum is it also shoots this. This is a 38 special round, and you'll notice it is just a little bit smaller, right, than the 357. You can see right now when you put them next to each other, it's a little bit smaller, but it still has that big punch. And so when you carry it in this, when you take that shot, it's going to have muzzle lift. Now, I have certain rounds that I wanted to pull out just to show you, but I don't know, I took them out and then put them down, and you know, I put things down all the time, and I don't know where I put them. They might be right next to me. If not, I have a whole box in there. Hold on. And they were right next to me. So 38 special, and then you have 38 special. You're thinking, well, that looks a little different. You see all that, all those little balls? This is what I carry when I carry my critter gun. When you hear me say, you know, a lot of times I got my critter gun, it's this, or it would be the Airweight Smith & Wesson, which I think I'm going to sell. I think I might sell it. The Airweight Smith & Wesson, and I load it with these. Now, what this is good for is especially like snakes, even like a coyote. If you don't really want to kill it or something, you just want to get it off of you, you shoot these. Now, if I shot this round at like a piece of plywood, all the little balls would hit. They'd make little dents, but most likely they just bounce off. When you're talking about a small critter, however, it's like basically it's a mini shotgun. That's what it is. Now, you can get this kind of round in like a 22 and things like that, but the 22 is a lot less effective than something like this. This is a beast of a round, and I would keep always a 38 special or a 357 that because I can shoot it, just for the fact that I have critter gun capabilities. And these are great to carry when you're out hiking in a like a snub nose. They are great to carry. But this one right here is great to carry if you're out in the city. You know what I mean? This is a very, very good round. But again, reacquisition. It just takes a little bit more time. So then you come down to this one right here, one of the most popular rounds in the world. This is the 9mm, right? The 9mm, fantastic, fantastic. Has a little bit less stopping power, and a little bit less penetration than some of the others. But this is a beast of a round. It's literally the most common self-defense round on the planet. People use these every day, all day. This is a no joke, keep yourself alive type of round. And like, just like all the other big rounds, there is a bit of lift, just a bit. There's not a lot in a 9mm, but if I'm holding here and it goes like this, just this, getting back, you're not back to zero. You have to find it every single time. So, but there's another reason, and I'm going to keep this one to the side because I'm going to show you more. So this is the 22 long rifle, right? It's the 20, it's 22 LR, but it stands for long rifle. Some people don't know that, and they say LR, and it bothers me. I hate when they say LR. But you can see next to the 9mm the absolute difference, the amount of powder it's going to carry, the amount of weight inside the bullet head. Everything about this says plinker, right? That's what everybody says. However, this is actually the #1 round used for assassins, like mafia assassins and things like that. And the reason is because you can take a gun that has a threaded barrel and you can put on a suppressor, a silencer, and with this round, especially if you use what's called a subsonic round, you would literally just hear the click of the, with a subsonic round and a barrel long enough, or with a suppressor, you would literally just hear the click of the hammer. Just dropping, that's it. It makes no sound. So these are something people would be able to get up close with in a public situation with the right suppressor, and they could boom and done. Now people say, yeah, but it's a 22. Oh, you can't get a 22. And anybody who says that, I always say the same thing to anybody who says, oh, a 22 is not going to hurt. I'd rather be shot with a 22 than blah, blah. All right, let me shoot you. No takers. Nobody wants to get shot with a 22. Do you know why? Because this will kill. Anything that hits the heart, I don't care if it's a needle. If a doctor was messing around and they accidentally got you in the heart with a needle and it left and you started bleeding, you could die. It takes nothing. A BB gun, if you had a BB gun and somebody shot it and somehow that BB hit the heart, you're dead. It's just dead. A headshot is a headshot no matter what, and a heart shot is a heart shot no matter. Even the femoral artery, even if you get hit in the carotid artery, if you're not stopping that bleeding, if you can't get to a hospital fast enough, you're gone. I've seen people get shot. What was it? This one guy got shot 9 times with a 9mm, 9 to 9, and lived. You can get shot with anything and live, and you can get shot with anything and not live. And that's why a lot of people sleep on these guys. But it's actually a pretty good round. For self-defense, it's less good, but you know, the saying, it's better than a sharpened stick, right? A 22, I'd rather have a 22 on me any day over, you know, if I had, drop something, if I had this, that's great. I could use this all day long, but I better be pretty close. This one, I could be 100 yards away. I could be 100 yards away. This is a fantastic little round. But even though I do carry every now and then a 22, I love this thing. I carry this in a 22 long rifle because A, there's no muzzle lift. It's pop, 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 pop. That's how it's literally, and it's fast, it's accurate, it's going to get the job done. And if you hit somebody just once or something just once, it knows it got hit, right? And just brandishing alone generally will scare away a 2-legged attacker. And a 4-legged attacker, a lot of times, is just the noise. And so if you're out in the woods and you're hiking and all of a sudden something comes out and you go bang into the ground, you don't even have to aim at it. They're going to scurry. Oh, crap, what was that? So it's not always about you have to end something to save you. Sometimes you just have to show something or make a loud noise. That's all it is. So the 9mm is not my choice for a round. That's where this comes in. This is a 22 Magnum. The 22 Magnum is my go-to. I will choose a 22 Magnum in any day situations every day. This has more penetrating ability than this. So if I was to take this 22 Magnum and this 38 Special and shoot them into like a silicone block, this would go farther. This would go in more. It is freaking awesome. Now with the right rounds, if you have like a Federal Punch or something really good, a good hollow tip that expands, and you shot, let's say, sorry, I just picked up the 38 Special again. And you shot this guy right here, a 9mm. A 9mm full metal jacket, that means non-hollow tipped, right? With a round tip is much wider, you can see, than the 22. However, a full metal jacket, if you have that, isn't going to open up, right? It's just going to go straight through. When you have a hollow tip, especially a good one, good ammo is key. You can't use crap ammo. Good ammo, these will spread to just about the size of a 9mm. So while you're getting better penetration than the 38, you're getting an expansion that's going to have as much stopping power as like a 32 or a 380 or a 25. So rounds that people typically use every day as EDCs, this will do the same thing as those smaller rounds. Anything from the 25 to 380 bracket. This is going to penetrate more and it's going to open more. Now, this is another reason. If I had a box of, these are CCI Win Mags, great round. That's what this is. If I had a box of these, right? You see how many are in there? What is this, 50 count? So this is a 50 count box. This is lighter than if I had like a 25 count box of this. Now, if I was going to use a gun belt where I had to put rounds in, I can put double the amount of rounds on the same belt as I can fit this in because they take up less space. If I have a carrying pouch, I can fit more rounds. And that's the thing is, I can carry more of these because I have more space widthwise in any kind of holder. If I wanted to carry a box of rounds, who does that? Nobody. But if I wanted to carry a box of rounds, just carrying, I can carry more of these in the same amount of space than these. So for me, I look at it like this: cost 22 rounds are cheaper. Even though the Magnums are a lot more than the 22 long rifle, which are dirt cheap, these are still cheaper than going out and getting that 38 special and some good 9mm and all that. These are cheaper. They work. You do not, these have a lot more power than people think. So basically, taking 20 minutes and turn it into a 3-second video, if I could choose one round for the rest of my life, the 22 Magnum. On my radar right now is a gun called the Tipman M422. Now they have it in 22 long rifle and all kinds of configurations. You can get them in full size rifles, or you can get them in pistol size, right? And they use all AR-15 parts except for the upper receiver. That's it. So you can interchange every part on your regular AR-15 on this thing, but it's going to shoot either 22 long rifle or they have a 22 Magnum version, and it's like a 16-inch barrel. It's awesome. It's awesome. But I'm thinking this is what I want to do. I want to get one of those and then take off the barrel and swap it for like an 11 or a 10-inch barrel and do a gun size or pistol size on that rifle. And that would be my absolute home protection from varmints, because we get a lot of like coyotes and wolves out in the distance here. We can get bear and mountain lion, and coming out of a barrel like that, a 22 Magnum, forget about it. It's all you need. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, so that was it. I just went to the gun store, bought a new gun, and man, I couldn't be happier. Now, if you have some kind of record, if you have any mark on your record, like I don't know, what do you call it, like assault or something maybe you went to a loony bin or whatever, and you can't buy a firearm, don't forget you're not out of the woods yet. You can still buy, own, and carry. Aha, it's right here. The Byrna doesn't shoot a bullet, and you only need to be 18 to buy them, no matter what your record says. So you can have one of those. If you have any kind of record, if you've ever gone to jail for something stupid, and you know, because they have to run a federal background check when you buy a gun. Even in there, I know a lot of people think Arizona, you can buy a gun and you don't even need blah blah. No, if you go to a gun store, they're going to run a federal background check and make sure that you're clean. Without it, you're not getting one of these. So if you have the ability to get one, I strongly suggest I can strongly suggest any gun, but a 22 Magnum, especially for me in single action. And now this is the other thing, is people say, well, why do you carry a single action instead of either a semi-auto or this and that? This is a rimfire cartridge, right? That means instead of hitting that primer right there, that little guy in the center, which ignites the gunpowder, you hit the edge of this rim. Anywhere on the edge, it's going to do that. And what happens is, if I have a semi-automatic gun, right, something that uses a magazine, and I have a misfire, now I have to pull back the slide, eject the round, or if I have a stovepipe or something goes wrong, I have to manually take it out. That's time. Time could mean death, right? We don't want that. With this, or even a double action revolver, you just go to the next one. And then you can re-hit the one that you already hit that didn't work, and it should generally work. And that's the best part, is they are nearly maintenance free and super, super reliable. So when you're throwing, especially when you're talking about good ammo, you don't usually have mishits. You can go 1,000 rounds and never have one. But that's the best part. Another good part is with semi-autos, the shell, boom, after you shoot, your casing flies through the air. Right? So all your thumbprints that you put on that thing loading it are on it. With a revolver, all the casings stay in the gun. So if something did happen, you don't have to worry about that. But the trigger is what does it. So when you pull a single action back, you have this very, very boom light trigger. It is so crisp. So when you're on your aim, when you're on center mass, and wrong finger, I always got nerve ending problems. And and you shoot, it is super, super crisp, super deliberate, really, really nice. And that is why I would choose the single action. I just absolutely love them, and you can just trust them. You can just trust them. The Tippmann that I was telling you about, that rifle, it's the most reliable 22 semi-automatic rifle on the planet. Not just MR style, AR style or M4 style. It is the most dependable semi-automatic on the planet for 22s. All right, so that's it. I think I'm gonna eat some wings and then go do a little shooting in the backyard. That's it for this one. Hi, I'm Donnie. Till next video.